Moving forward, so next we have Vidya Sridhar with us. She'll be speaking about open source technology for social impact. Have you ever wondered about the types of technology used by the organizations and communities in the social sector? Has the concept of open source made its way to organizations that need it, allowing them to see the benefits of switching from proprietary tools? Well, you're at the right place. She is a senior associate at Tech for Good community, specializing in insights and strategy. Vidya holds an engineering degree from Chennai, and she has done her master's from Arizona State University. A former data scientist, she likes deciphering patterns, breaking down complex theories, and bringing a human-centered lens to problem solving in social sector. Give it up a huge round of applause for Vidya. Thank you.
I don't know if I can match up to the energy of Vashak from the previous talk. Great talk. I'm going to just start. I'm Vidya, and it's really nice to be here. Thank you all for attending this speech. Today in this talk, I'm going to be sharing about Tech for Good community. We are a nonprofit that works with organizations using open source technology. So I'm going to be talking a bit about what we do and also show you the opportunities that lie for students or developers interested in the social space. Okay, a little bit of background about myself. I have a formal education in computer science, and then I realized that I like to work on human challenges, on human problems, and then I joined the Tech for Good community team last year. Before that, for 7 years, I was in the corporate sector as a data scientist. So yeah, since making this shift, I've gotten to talk to a lot of non-profit organizations, people working towards society issues and their tech challenges. So this talk is just going to be me sharing those experiences with you. Right, so tech and social impact. There is always a tech with everything, but what does tech for social impact mean? Technology is an excellent amplifier of existing human capacity, right? For example, if I want to know about the citizen complaints in my area, I can walk to both the streets around my house and get it. But if I need to know it for the whole of Bangalore, then that's where I need a tech platform to come in. So this is pretty much why, in very simple terms, why technology is needed in the social sector also, to scale interventions, to reach more people, and basically amplify all the good work that people are already doing. Now, I'll digress a little bit into open source, and I'll talk about some proprietary history that Tech for Good community has had. So this organization has been working with nonprofits for the last 5 to 6 years and, providing technology solutions. But we did not see how open source was a match made in heaven for the social sector until last year. Why? Because there are so many proprietary solutions available that nonprofits can use. They show discounts, they have grants for nonprofits, all of those were available. But we still saw a huge gap about why the sector is not able to adopt these tools that are already there. Why? Because number one, the scaling cost, and number two, all of these tools are built for the enterprise sector, right? It does not mirror or have the workflows that the social sector needs. So because of this, after multiple, trials, we realized that proprietary solution is not the way to go, and there exists significant potential in open source. And yeah, so that's how we arrived at how open source works really well for the social sector. And when we talk about open source, I'm sure all of you here know about what open source is. What are the 3 words that come to our minds? It's community, it's collaboration, and transparency, right? That's pretty much what the goals of the social sector is also, to create inclusive, collaborative ecosystems for the society's issues. So just drawing like an analogy here for you guys. And given that I'm talking to a very tech audience, a lot of students and developers here, when you have a passion project, let's say you develop a passion project and then you're putting it out on GitHub or as open source, when it's just done as a passion project, you guys might not realize the importance or the unintended impact that comes out of it. For example, a student in Nagpur builds a calculator to, let's say, calculate the soil index or carbon footprint and then puts it up. That could be used by actual organizations working at the last mile in, let's say, a Kerala or a Tamil Nadu, and use it. So there's a lot of unintended impact that comes from making your passion projects open source. And whenever you put something out, especially when our organization, we develop a lot of applications for non-profit organizations. So when we put that out as an open source product, what essentially that means is it's like an open call to collaboration, right? Come, we work together, your problems, our problems, we build them together. So that's sort of the community that open source fosters, and we are very glad that we found this niche spot for ourselves. I'm going to be presenting a few case studies, if you will, that tech students and interns in our organizations have developed for nonprofits. One is Imago. Imago is a grassroots organization and they are known globally worldwide. They have a program called the Unnat Didi, which is basically the Unnat Didi program. It empowers rural women by connecting them with agro-processing enterprises to enhance income opportunities. So Unnat Didis is basically connecting women in Tier 3 cities or self-help group women with opportunities, small entrepreneurial opportunities related to agriculture, so that they to basically improve their income. Now for this, it's pan-India. You need to track the income of each Didi, which means a sister, each Didi, to know how much income they are able to get using this program. For that, 2 freshers and 1 intern from T4GC developed a point of sale system, and I'll tell you the benefits of building this as open source, right? Number 1, cost effectiveness. The cost was reduced by 85% for Imago, and because of this, they can now afford to scale the system to 50 enterprises and not just 1, right? And looking at the impact that this system, the efficiency that the system has brought to the program, the Jharkhand state rural government has offered to host the FOSS systems free of charge. So now the system is basically free, because for FOSS, when you build a FOSS technology or an application, all you do is build the system and you just need server or hosting charges, right? Another organization which is very close to our heart, Jagrutha Mahila Sanghatane, it's in Raichur, Karnataka, and they are also a women tribal organization working towards women empowerment. And Google volunteers, tech volunteers, train them on Open Data Kit and for data collection, and through this they were able to save 50,000 rupees annually, which is actually a lot of money. 50,000 rupees can go into their core work, right? So the money that they were using for digitizing their data collection and paper forms, they trained themselves on Open Data Kit and they were able to save 50,000 annually. And another interesting use case that I came across recently while talking with SeSTA, 7 Sisters Development Assistants. So they are an organization which works with farmers in Assam, Meghalaya and Nagaland to for organic farming, to improve their farmer soil content and produce given the state of climate change today. Now SeSTA needs to know enough to assess their soil quality, etc., to tell the farmers what sort of changes need to be done in the soil, the interventions, and what sort of crops could go there. So for this, they have spoken to a vendor, a proprietary vendor, to get them with like satellite data and local data combined inside. So it has like a bunch of dashboards which shows the crop stress, the soil pH indicator, so on and so forth. Pretty technical terms for us, I'll leave that. But they went ahead with this vendor, they configured it. Now, for the vendor, what they're saying is, for each graph you want, there's extra cost. And for each location you want, there's another extra cost. And for each state, there's more extra cost, right? So maybe having one graph will help, but if it was open source here, imagine the amount of cost and productivity. Like now SeSTA can't probably afford this, right? Because to get that satellite data, it's not open source satellite data, it's not Google Maps. It is probably privately owned vendor data. So when an organization thinks of scaling, which is what they need to do, they need rounded information to provide support to their beneficiaries. Proprietary solutions often take a hit when it comes to cost, which is where open source really shines. That being said, open source offers great flexibility, a source of collaboration, a concept of collaboration community, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done to make open source technology accessible in the social sector, because people in the social sector, NGOs can't just go online and take an open source project and start using, right? There's a lot of technical expertise that is needed to actually make it useful, which is what many organizations like us are trying to do. We're trying to bridge that gap by promoting low-code FOSS tools. And so there's a lot of work that needs to be done. If anyone's interested in, you have time to build stuff, who's interested in tinkering, would like to contribute their technical skills for the social sector, you're very welcome to contact me. I have my contact information here. That's us, that's our team at Tech for Good community. We're a very small team, and we've been working for the last 5 years. So yeah, that's us. If you'd like to know how to contribute, where to contribute, we can help you with that. You can email us. We've had a lot of people through these emails. I became a part of Tech for Good by reaching out to Rinju, our CEO, using email. So yeah, we'd love to talk with you, hear from you if you're interested. Any questions?
Hi Vidya, just wanted to know what are the challenges have you faced while using the open source technology for the social impact, like you said about the case studies?
The challenges would be if there is an open source project and it wasn't updated, maybe the update versions irregular or lack of documentation is one issue that we have faced consistently. Yeah.
Another one question: how can open source platform can be used for the collaboration of the NGO or government to the addressing the citizen issues or else social issues?
Sure. We have Gautam with us here. He will be the best person to answer it. Gautam is part of Reap Benefit, and they have a citizen engagement platform called Samaja, which is built on open source. I think Gautam, you should answer this question.
Hello? Yeah. Okay, I didn't expect this. Okay, fine.
Sorry.
No problem. Okay, so to answer your question, yes, is there a interest from the government side to use open source technology? The answer is yes. Is there an interest in terms of your enabling technology from the citizen sectors or from citizens? The answer is yes. But these two things, the requirements and the expectations are different. It's about whoever is developing those platforms needs to be aware of, because from a on-ground perspective, it has to be super simple. It shouldn't be yet another app someone is implementing. At a top-down approach, it's all about visualization. I mean, what informations that I can get to make quick decisions. So how do we bridge this gap? So to answer your questions, it's mostly around how do we facilitate this entire journey of enabling technology between the citizens with the government is the key, rather than what technology, what tool it is. I mean, I have my talk tomorrow. Like Vidya mentioned, we co-developed a product with FOSS United, and it has actually led to a policy level change in terms of, especially with the Jal Jeevan mission. So how does the entire process has been facilitated? Definitely, technology is one of those components. It's a lot to do with how do we engage people using those levers and technology aspects. Yeah.
Thanks, Gautam. Any other questions?
Okay. Thank you, Vidya, for joining in today, and the session was really insightful. Let's give a huge round of applause